Meet Zelda, 8-week-old Connie Corso puppy, and we're going to go on a journey together of training her to be the best Connie Corso she can possibly be and become the dream canine companion that all dogs deserve to be. Bring you along for the process so that you can learn exactly how you can do the same thing yourself at home. Now, in today's video, I want to talk about exactly how you can prepare yourself to bring your puppy home to make sure that you're setting both you and them up for success so that you're able to train your dream canine companion. And for you to be able to have success with your new puppy, for that puppy to grow up to be an amazing dog. And the first thing that you need to focus on when considering bringing a puppy into your home to set you and them up for success is choosing the right breed. Now, let's face it, Zelda here is absolutely adorable. She is gorgeous. She is incredibly cute. Your heart will be melting, just like mine is. But the reality is that she isn't going to look like this for very long. She is going to grow up into a large, powerful, very protective Mastiff breed. And if you are not prepared for that, she's adorable now. These can very easily grow into very dangerous, out-of-control dogs. So you have to try and put your emotions to one side and do your breed research in depth and choose based on a dog that will fit your lifestyle, your experience, and your skill set. Now, as a canine behaviorist, there isn't really a dog that's out the realm of possibility for me with a skill and experience-wise, but there are definitely many dogs that wouldn't suit my lifestyle. I personally don't like extremely high-drive, high-energy breeds that require a ton of exercise and a ton of work. That's why I'm not really drawn to breeds like working line Spaniels, Border Collies, Belgian Malinois, or working line German Shepherds. For me, it kind of tops out on my love for Labradors. However, if we are going into the big breeds, it's no secret that I absolutely adore Mastiffs. I own 2 Mastiffs currently. I had a Connie Corso named Mabel, which if you guys have been following me since back in the day, you'll remember that story very well. And I had a Bull Mastiff before that. I absolutely love the Mastiff breed. They suit my lifestyle very well, and I have the skill and experience to be able to train them properly. The reality is not everybody does, and you just have to have an honest conversation with yourself about that and make sure that you set you and them up for success. So while we're doing a little bit of toilet training, which you're going to have to get very used to, by the way, when it comes to bringing a new puppy into your home, there's going to be many hours spent staring at a tiny little dog like this, hoping that they'll have a number 1 or a number 2. But let's talk about the things that you need to buy when bringing a new puppy into your home. Now, the reality is you can spend tens of thousands on preparing for your new puppy, and everything that you read and all the marketing equipment is going to tell you that you need everything. The reality is you don't need as much as you might think when it comes to getting your puppy, but there are a few things that I think are essential. First and foremost, we need to make sure that their basic needs are met. So make sure you've got dog food bowls and water bowls. I like steel ones that you can clean really efficiently, and you need to make sure that they've got access to fresh water at all times, and then following the guidelines for the feeding protocol for them. Then we need somewhere for them to sleep. I like to just use either vet bedding or basic beds when they are this little, because the reality is they're probably going to chew and ruin a few beds while they're growing up, and there's no point in spending a fortune at this point. Things like vet bedding are super comfortable for puppies, but really easy for you to wash. And a mandatory part of my training process when it comes to puppies is a crate. And you want to start with a nice small crate or a bigger crate that can be divided, because you don't want them to be able to have too much space, because it will do more harm than good, especially when it comes to toilet training. Then after those mandatory things are sorted, there are just a few basic things that will help you get started. I like to make sure you've got some toys available for them that are easy for them to chew, because they are teething and there are going to be a lot of things that they're going to want to chew. So just having options available that aren't your fingers, your clothes or your shoes are going to help with training. You want to make sure that you've got some kind of training pouch. When I train puppies, I use their normal food. I don't use training treats, but just somewhere to be able to put that food in when you're doing a little bit of training. Basic training pouch, brilliant. Do you need puppy pads, toilet pads? I personally don't use them because I try and get them on grass from day one as quickly as possible. However, if you don't have the flexibility or you don't necessarily have the lifestyle that's going to allow you to bring them out every 30 to 60 minutes for the first few weeks, you might want to get some puppy pads. Then depending on where you live, this might be a legal requirement, but you might need a collar with some kind of name tag on, and you're probably going to want some kind of lead situation. Zelda here has just got a basic thing. I recently ruptured my Achilles heel. If she takes off, I I can't catch her. So I've just got her on a lead here, whereas usually I might not need this. I probably have a house line, which you can buy an official house line. It's a really lightweight lead that'll help you get started. Again, personally, I use a bit of paracord. It's way cheaper. If it gets damaged, chewed or ruined, you just throw it away and use another bit. And one of my favorite things that's definitely not necessary, but I think it helps huge, is Kongs. Having a small puppy Kong that you can fill is going to help with things like crate training, like separation anxiety prevention, and it's just going to be a real useful way of keeping these engaged and happy for periods of time. But we'll talk about that in another section when we start to look at the training piece of the puzzle. But with some of those basic things, making sure that you're following the vet guidelines of your vaccinations, your jabs, and anything else that they recommend, you can be pretty ready to rock and roll with your new puppy. Now, there are many other toys and fun things that if you want to buy, feel free, knock yourself out. But in terms of the basics, make sure that those things are hit and you'll be absolutely fine. Yes. So then guys, let's talk about preparing for your puppy when it comes to their training. We know what breed they're going to get. We know what kind of things that we need to buy for them to make sure that we're preparing for them well. But what are we going to do when it comes to training? Well, for me, it's all about having a plan. Now, I am going to be documenting the entire journey of training Zelda to show her going from this brand new 8-week-old puppy all the way up to a perfect canine companion. But the reality is that you need a training plan in place to be able to show you exactly what to do and when you need to do it. And this series here on YouTube is going to be showing you the fruits of having a plan, giving you some hope to trust in the process. But when it comes to the actual plan, I created a completely free course. It's my Principles to Perfect Puppy Training. It is going to go through in way more detail than we can fit in a short YouTube video like this, exactly what you need to do when it comes to training your puppy to become the perfect canine companion that we're going to document and show you the results of here in this series. There'll be a link to that course. Again, it's completely free of charge. You can go down in the description box below, or we'll pin a comment about it for you. Again, completely free of charge, and it's going to highlight exactly what you need to do when it comes to training your puppy. So then guys, I might have forgot to mention at the start of this video that Zelda, this 8-week Corso puppy, actually isn't mine. Zelda belongs to a very good friend of me that happens to just live a couple of 100 meters away from my training center. So I'm going to be helping him out training Zelda from day one all the way through to perfect canine companion so that I can bring you guys along for the journey. So yes, we are going to be showing you exactly what you need to be doing on day one, exactly what you need to be doing for your obedience, for your socialization, for your manners, showing you that process and showing you the results of all of the hard work in training that I talk about in my Principles of Perfect Puppy free course. So again, you can go check out that course. It is completely free of charge. You can come back and follow me putting those principles into practice with Zelda and see for yourself how life-changing they can be and how it doesn't need to be rocket science to be able to achieve your perfect canine companion like Uncle Sully here. So thank you very much. Subscribe if you're new. Can't wait to see you next week for the next episode with Zelda's puppy journey.